At the moment your eyes meet these words, a ray of divine light is already penetrating your soul. It's no coincidence that you're here today. At this very moment, the celestial power of Saint Michael the Archangel is about to manifest in your life, ready to break the invisible chains of debt that oppress you and open the gates of prosperity that seemed forever sealed. This prayer is not like others. It's a direct channel to heaven sailed, most powerful warrior, who with his fiery sword cuts through every obstacle and dissolves every financial shadow darkening your path while your economic worries may have made you feel abandoned. Know that at this very moment, the Archangel of Divine Light is already fixing his gaze upon you, observing with compassion the invisible weight you carry on your shoulders, ready to intervene with all celestial power to transform your situation. If you can feel in your heart that this prayer is touching your soul, write in the comments, "Saint Michael, free my financial paths, and let this blessing begin to flow into your life. O glorious Saint Michael the Archangel, commander of the heavenly hosts, divine protector and tireless warrior of eternal light, I humbly kneel before your radiant presence, you who shine like the morning star in the divine firmament. Hear today my supplication born from a heart weighed down by economic burdens and material concerns that suffocate my peace. I stand before you with a naked soul and an open heart, recognizing your greatness and your incomparable power of transformation, Archangel of fire and courage. I come to you with open hands and a vulnerable soul, my shoulders bent under the unbearable weight of debts, my sleepless nights tormented by the anguish of deadlines, my spirit fatigued by the constant struggle against scarcity. Saint Michael, you who defeated the dragon of darkness, come now to defeat the dragon of poverty that devours my tranquility and poisons my days with the bitterness of insufficiency. Do not allow my soul to continue suffocating under this dark cloak of material worries that prevents me from breathing the fullness of divine life with your luminous sword. I pray you cut the invisible ties that keep me prisoner to economic difficulties, cut every negative spiritual contract that I have unknowingly signed with misery, dissolve the energy barriers that block the flow of divine abundance in my life, free my paths from the thorns of financial failure, and pave the way toward the prosperity that the Creator has destined for me since the beginning of time when he conceived my soul in his eternal thought. Saint Michael, you who see beyond the veil of appearance, recognize the silent battles I fight each day. Observe how I try to maintain dignity before others, while within me grows the anguish for unpaid bills, accumulated loans, opportunities lost due to lack of resources. You understand the weight of this burden that is not only material, but also crushes my spirit, limiting my ability to feel life's joy, to appreciate creation's beauty, to serve others with the fullness of heart. I wish to offer intervene, powerful Archangel. With your transformative energy, penetrate with your golden light into the depths of my financial situation, illuminate every dark corner where energy blocks hide that prevent the manifestation of abundance with your divine shield. Repel far from me every negative influence that attracts misery and loss. Surround my economic life with a circle of celestial protection that no impoverishing force can ever cross. Saint Michael Archangel, you who are the minister of divine providence, now open the gates of the celestial treasury above my life like blessed rain. Let unexpected opportunities, creative solutions to my financial problems, favorable encounters with people who can help me transform my economic situation descend upon me. Make every step I take lead me closer to financial liberation. Every decision I make be guided by your infinite wisdom toward the path of abundance. I invoke you, guardian of divine justice, so that every unjust debt may be canceled from my life, every sum that is owed to me, every resource that rightfully belongs to me but has been withheld, every financial blessing destined for me but blocked by adverse circumstances. Make all this be released and flow rapidly toward me, multiplying like loaves and fishes in divine hands. Reestablish celestial justice in my finances. ensuring that every economic exchange in my life is balanced and blessed, O Saint Michael. As I speak with you, I already feel the weight lifted from my shoulders. I sense your majestic presence beside me, your shining armor reflecting the light of hope in my heart. Your sword, raised in my defense, cuts through the Gordian knots of my economic difficulties that seemed impossible to untie even now, in this moment of prayer. I feel the first breath of financial freedom brush my soul, like a gentle breeze that heralds the powerful wind of complete liberation. Archangel of divine protection, wrap my home in a field of celestial energy that repels every form of poverty and instead attracts prosperity in all its manifestations. Protect my investments, multiply my honest efforts. Bless the work of my hands, make every coin I touch multiply. Every idea I conceive transform into a source of abundance. Every talent I possess become a channel through which divine wealth can manifest in my earthly life. Saint Michael, you who are keeper of the divine scales, reestablish balance in my financial life where there has been excess spending. Bring wisdom and moderation where there has been lack. Bring abundance and fullness where there have been wrong decisions. Bring clarity and discernment. Transform my scarcity mindset into one of abundance, helping me recognize that I am a child of the infinite universe and that limitation is only an illusion created by the human mind. A temporary veil that you are now lifting with your powerful angelic hand. I invoke your presence in places where decisions regarding my economic welfare are made. Be present in creditors' offices, in job interviews, in business negotiations. Whisper words of favor in the ears of those who have power to alleviate my financial burden. Illuminate the minds of those who can offer me new earning opportunities. Open the spiritual eyes of those I meet on my path, so they may see the authentic value I bring to the world, and reward it adequately. Prince of the Celestial Militia, with your presence drive away every spirit of failure that has tried to attach itself to my life as you cast Lucifer from paradise. Distance from me every energy of financial self-destruction, every habit of waste, every impulsive decision that sabotages my economic well-being. Purify my thoughts regarding money, freeing me from every limiting belief inherited from my family or absorbed from the society around me. Saint Michael, as I pronounce this prayer, I visualize my bills paid, my debts canceled, my bank account flourishing like a garden in spring. I see myself walking with head held high, free from the yoke of financial anxiety, finally able to breathe deeply and live fully in the present, without the constant terror of economic future. This vision that now appears in my mind, I know is a seed of reality that you are already causing to germinate in the fertile soil of my life with your lance of truth. Pierce every lie I have told myself about my ability to generate wealth. Destroy the false convictions inherited from my family or absorbed from society that have convinced me I don't deserve abundance. Reveal to me my true worth, not measured in monetary terms but in my divine essence, reminding me that I was born to prosper in all aspects of life, including the material, which is a sacred reflection of spiritual abundance. Archangel of purifying fire, burn in your celestial brazier all karmic documents that record my financial mistakes of the past. Purify my credit history, not only in earthly records, but also in spiritual ones. Free my name from every association with misery and rewrite it in the book of divine abundance. Make it so that from this day forward, my relationship with money is completely renewed, transformed by your celestial energy into a healthy, balanced, and blessed relationship. Saint Michael, while I invoke your assistance for my material difficulties, I also commit to becoming a channel of blessing for others. I promise that when my situation improves, I will share my resources with those in need, thus multiplying the cycle of divine generosity. Help me remember that true wealth is not measured by what I accumulate, but by what I allow to flow through my life for the good of all. Teach me to be a wise steward of the material gifts that heaven will grant me through your powerful intercession. Celestial Us, guardian of my soul, protect me from the temptations of despair. When the path to financial liberation seems too long, give me the strength to persevere, the patience to await divine timing, the wisdom to recognize and seize opportunities when they present themselves. Support me when my faith wavers under the weight of apparent absence of immediate results. Remind me that in the invisible spiritual realm, you are already fighting victorious battles for my prosperity, whose fruits will manifest at the perfect moment. Archangel of divine transformation, I ask you to work a miracle in my financial situation, not according to my limited will, but according to the Creator's perfect vision for my life. Open doors that no man can close, and close doors that might lead me to greater economic difficulties. Guide me toward the path of abundance that has already been traced for me in eternity, long before I was born into this temporal world. Saint Michael, as I pray, I feel your powerful energy vibrate around me, wrapping me in a cocoon of divine protection. I perceive your sword of light penetrating the dark clouds of my current situation, revealing rays of hope and possibility I hadn't noticed before. I feel your shield reflecting far away from me every negative projection, every curse of poverty, every self-imposed limitation. Your luminous presence dissolves the shadows of fear that have obscured my financial perspective, allowing me to see clearly the path to economic liberation. Saint Michael Archangel, I ask you to break every karmic chain that binds me to experiences of poverty lived in other lives or handed down through my ancestral line with your flaming sword. Sever these invisible but powerful ties that continue to drag me toward situations of scarcity, despite my efforts to advance. Free my spiritual DNA from every code of financial limitation, reprogramming it with the celestial codes of abundance and divine prosperity. Powerful protector, I pray you surround with your presence every physical place connected to my finances. Be present in my home, my workplace, my bank, my creditors' offices. Purify these spaces with your golden light, transforming the energy residing there from one of stress and worry to one of tranquility and confidence. Make every environment connected to my financial life become a sanctuary of abundance, a portal through which celestial blessings can flow freely into my material experience. Saint Michael, you who are master of the angels of abundance, send your celestial messengers in every direction of my life to prepare the ground for the manifestation of prosperity. Send angels to the north, south, east, and west of my existence to announce that a new chapter of well-being is about to open for me. Make these divine emissaries inspire in the minds of those they meet favorable thoughts toward me, ideas that can translate into concrete opportunities for economic improvement for my situation. Valiant warrior of light, fight for me against the forces of inflation, recession, economic instability, and every other external condition that threatens to worsen my financial situation with your impenetrable shield. Protect me from the negative effects of fluctuating markets, unfavorable economic policies, global crises that could impact my ability to generate and maintain wealth. Create around me a bubble of divine protection in which I can prosper, regardless of the general economic conditions. Afflicting the world, Archangel of divine intelligence, illuminate my mind with brilliant ideas that can translate into new sources of income. Inspire in me creative solutions to my financial problems that I had never considered before. Amplify my intuition so I can recognize hidden opportunities that present themselves in my path. Increase my ability to see beyond appearance, to perceive the underground currents of economic energy and navigate them with wisdom and discernment. Saint Michael, I ask you to bless every cent that enters my life, multiplying its power and effect. Make even the smallest sums I receive expand miraculously, covering more necessities than would seem possible. Just as the bread and fish multiplied in divine hands, teach me to recognize and appreciate these daily multiplications as tangible signs of your active presence in my financial life. Archangel of liberation, dissolve every financial curse that might have been pronounced against me, consciously or unconsciously, by people who have envied me or desired my failure. Neutralize the effect of every negative word, every evil wish, Every destructive thought that has tried to interfere with the natural flow of abundance in my life, replace these negative energies with powerful blessings that accelerate my journey toward prosperity. Saint Michael, patron of honest business, bless every economic transaction in which I am involved. Make every exchange of money, goods, or services be guided by principles of integrity, fairness, and mutual respect. Keep far from my life any temptation to compromise my moral values in the pursuit of material wealth. Always remind me that true prosperity includes not only financial abundance but also the peace of conscience that comes from acting with honesty in every situation. Glorious Archangel, I pray you activate in my aura the divine magnet of financial attraction. Make my personal energy become irresistibly attractive to opportunities for abundance, to ideal clients, to perfect business partners, to favorable circumstances that can improve my economic situation. Synchronize my energy field with the highest frequencies of cosmic prosperity, allowing me to resonate with the infinite flow of universal abundance. Saint Michael, keeper of celestial treasures, reveal to me the hidden riches I already possess, but have not recognized. Show me the untapped talents, latent abilities, overlooked resources that could transform into significant sources of prosperity. If developed and used wisely, help me see value where before I saw only ordinariness, potential where before I saw only limitations. Archangel of divine determination, infuse me with the willpower necessary to persist in my journey toward financial liberation, despite the obstacles I encounter. When the temptation to give up becomes strong, remind me that you continue to fight for me in the invisible realms, and that my perseverance is an essential part of the battle. Inspire in me the discipline to take small, consistent steps every day toward my financial goals, knowing that even the smallest progress is significant in divine eyes. Saint Michael, source of celestial courage, dispel the fear that often paralyzes me when it comes to making important financial decisions. Free me from the anxiety that prevents me from investing, risking, expanding, seizing opportunities that could radically transform my economic situation. Replace this fear with an unshakable confidence in divine support and angelic guidance that accompanies me in every step of my journey toward prosperity. Archangel of divine vision, show me the bigger picture of my financial life, helping me see beyond the temporary difficulties of the present moment. Reveal to me how these current challenges are actually forging in me the qualities necessary to sustain and wisely manage the future prosperity that awaits me. Help me understand the spiritual value of this period of trial, recognizing it as an essential preparation for the abundance that is about to manifest in my life. Saint Michael, who rules over the four elements, harmonize my relationship with the elemental energies that influence my material prosperity. Balance in me the fire of ambition, the air of intellect, the water of emotion, and the earth of practicality, creating a perfect formula to attract and maintain wealth in all its forms. Make these elements work in synergy within me, enhancing my ability to manifest abundance in the physical dimension. Archangel of divine opportunities, I pray you multiply favorable possibilities in my path where before there was only one road. Make many now appear where one door has closed. Make numerous windows fling open. Create meaningful coincidences, surprising synchronicities, casual encounters that are actually divinely orchestrated to lead me toward the financial liberation I desire and need. Saint Michael, patron of mental clarity, dissolve the fog of confusion that often surrounds my financial decisions. Illuminate my mind with the light of divine truth, allowing me to see clearly which path to choose when I find myself at an economic crossroads. Sharpen my discernment so I can distinguish authentic opportunities from illusory distractions. Wise advice from self-interested manipulations. Powerful Archangel, you who govern celestial cycles, I pray you accelerate the cycles of abundance in my life. Make periods of prosperity extend and intensify, while moments of constraint shorten and attenuate. Synchronize my financial clock with the most favorable cosmic rhythms, allowing me to ride the ascending waves of abundance energy flowing through the universe. Saint Michael, keeper of the Akashic records, I pray you access my spiritual files and activate every financial blessing that has been assigned to me in this incarnation. but that I have not yet claimed unlock the economic gifts that are my spiritual birthright, the opportunities that are mine by soul contract, the karmic rewards I have earned through service and generosity in past lives, Archangel of Divine Grace. When my personal efforts prove insufficient and my human strength reaches its limits, I pray you intervene with the supernatural power of celestial grace, perform financial miracles in my life that transcend earthly logic, that defy statistical probabilities, that reveal the unlimited capacity of the divine to manifest abundance even in seemingly impossible circumstances. Saint Michael, celestial alchemical master, transform the negative energies of my financial life into positive forces that work in my favor, convert defeats into valuable lessons, obstacles into springboards, delays into opportunities for growth and preparation as the alchemist transforms lead into gold. Transform my present scarcity into the future abundance you already clearly see in my divine destiny, glorious protector. I pray you watch over my material possessions, protecting them from loss, damage, theft, and depreciation. Extend your angelic shield over my home, my car, my investments, my valuables, preserving them as tangible manifestations of divine providence in my life. Help me be a good steward of these goods, using them with gratitude and wisdom. Saint Michael, source of inner peace, calm the financial anxiety that often consumes me, stealing my joy of living and distorting my perception of the present. Replace this constant agitation with a deep calm based on the certainty that the universe abounds with resources, that my portion has already been assigned. Allow me to rest in the confidence that, while I do my part diligently, you are doing yours with divine power to ensure my material well-being. Archangel of spiritual freedom, help me recognize and break every form of financial slavery in my life. Free me from dependence on debt, from toxic economic relationships, from jobs that suffocate my soul, from compulsive consumption, habits that imprison me in cycles of scarcity. Guide me toward a model of prosperity that is an authentic expression of my spiritual freedom and my alignment with will. The divine plan for my life, Saint Michael, guardian of spiritual boundaries, establish healthy energetic limits around my financial life. Do not allow economic concerns to invade every aspect of my existence, obscuring the simple joys and non-material blessings that enrich my soul. Help me maintain a balanced perspective, reminding me that money is an important but not all-encompassing aspect of my human experience. Powerful Archangel, while I pray for my financial liberation, I also ask you to free me from excessive attachment to money and material goods. Purify my relationship with wealth, transforming it from a relationship of anxious dependence to one of grateful appreciation and wise use. Teach me to see material abundance as a tool for spiritual growth and service to others, not as an end in itself. Saint Michael, Prince of Transformation, I now use the power of your presence to declare a new beginning in my financial history. From this moment forward, I completely detach myself from the narrative of struggle and insufficiency that has characterized my economic past. Through your regenerative energy, I begin today a new chapter of growing prosperity, financial stability, and abundance in all its forms. Archangel of divine manifestation, align my thoughts, emotions, words, and actions with the highest frequencies of cosmic abundance. Make every part of my being vibrate in harmony with the prosperity I desire to attract, eliminating internal contradictions and unconscious resistances that might sabotage the manifestation process. Unify all dimensions of my being into a powerful magnet for the energy of divine wealth. Saint Michael, keeper of the sacred fire, ignite in me the flame of enthusiasm and passion to create abundance in my life and in the world. Burn away the apathy, resignation, and cynicism that might have made me believe my financial situation is immutable. Awaken in me the creative energy that transforms ideas into tangible realities, dreams into concrete results, visions into material manifestations. Archangel of celestial wisdom, Guide me toward a deeper understanding of the spiritual laws that govern prosperity. Teach me to consciously collaborate with these divine laws, rather than unconsciously opposing them. Reveal to me the cosmic principles of abundance so that I can align my life with them, becoming an increasingly effective channel for the flow of divine wealth. Saint Michael, companion in difficult moments, on days when the weight of financial problems seems unbearable and the future appears devoid of hope, draw especially close to me. Let me feel your comforting presence, your unwavering support, your absolute confidence in the positive resolution of all my difficulties in moments of despair. Be my rock of stability, reminding me that no night, however dark, lasts forever. Archangel of divine victory, while you fight for me in the invisible realms against the forces of financial limitation, teach me also to be an active warrior in the material dimension. Help me understand which part of this battle for prosperity is mine to fight, which concrete actions I am called to undertake, which responsibilities I must assume to effectively collaborate with your angelic intervention in my life. Saint Michael, bearer of the light of intuition, sharpen my ability to perceive divine guidance regarding financial decisions. Make me sensitive to subtle suggestions, discreet signals, silent indications that show me which direction to take in the labyrinth of economic possibilities. Help me recognize your voice amid the noise of conflicting opinions, alarming predictions, contradictory advice that often confuse me. Powerful Archangel, just as a garden needs to be freed from weeds before it can fully bloom, I ask you to uproot from my life all negative influences that suffocate my prosperity. Remove toxic people who discourage me, draining situations that exhaust my resources, destructive habits that sabotage my financial progress. Create a clean and fertile space where the seeds of abundance can germinate without obstacles. Saint Michael, craftsman of divine synchronicity, I pray you orchestrate seemingly random events that are actually perfectly coordinated to promote my economic well-being. Create fortuitous meetings with people who can open new doors for me, accidental coincidences that put me in the right place at the right time, sudden discoveries of opportunities that were specifically destined for me since the beginning of time. Archangel of celestial resilience, infuse me with the ability to bounce back quickly after every financial setback. When I suffer a loss, a rejection, a failure in my journey toward prosperity, do not allow me to dwell in self-pity or discouragement. Help me instead to transform every fall into a springboard, every disappointment into a valuable lesson, every closed door into an impetus to look for better windows I might not otherwise have noticed. Saint Michael, bearer of divine revelations, I pray you unveil the hidden patterns, unconscious beliefs, energy blocks that might be at the root of my recurring financial difficulties. Illuminate with your celestial light the dark corners of my psyche where ancestral fears related to money, limiting family patterns, forgotten but still active decisions that negatively influence my relationship with material abundance. Hide, Archangel of divine connections, put me in touch with the right people who can assist my financial growth. Attract into my life wise mentors, trusted collaborators, ideal clients, generous supporters, expert guides who can help me navigate the complex world of economics with greater security and success. Keep away from my orbit those who might exploit me, deceive me, or lead me down dangerous financial paths. Saint Michael, master of energetic transmutation, transform every negative emotion I feel regarding my financial situation. Convert my fear into trust, my anger into determination, my envy into inspiration, my resentment into gratitude, my shame into self-acceptance. Make these transformed emotions become powerful allies in my journey toward abundance, rather than obstacles that slow me down. Powerful celestial warrior, fight for me the battle against procrastination, indecision, and dispersion that often sabotage my efforts to improve my financial situation. Infuse me with the mental clarity to establish effective priorities, the discipline to follow concrete action plans, the concentration to complete what I start without constantly being distracted by new ideas or possibilities. Saint Michael, guardian of personal power, restore to me my financial authority in every area where I have ceded it to others out of fear, ignorance, or sense of inadequacy help me take back the reins of my economic life. Trust in my ability to make wise decisions. Recognize and use the power I've always possessed to create abundance through my daily choices. Archangel of Divine Providence. In moments of extreme need, when resources seem depleted and human solutions non-existent, I pray you intervene with that special form of celestial assistance that manifests precisely when every earthly hope seems lost. Let me experience in my life the truth of the divine promise that says, before they call, I will answer. While they are still speaking, I will hear. Saint Michael, Archangel of Integrity, guide me to build my prosperity on solid foundations of honesty, ethics, and respect for all beings. Never allow me to sacrifice my spiritual values on the altar of material gain. Help me instead demonstrate to the world that authentic and lasting abundance flourishes precisely when it is rooted in the highest principles of the Soul Prince of the Celestial Armies. Mobilize for me the angelic legions specialized in abundance and prosperity. Send your luminous warriors to fight every form of energy blockage in my auric field, my home, my work environment that prevents the full manifestation of divine abundance in my life. Make these powerful invisible allies work tirelessly to clear the path to my prosperity. Saint Michael, Lord of Divine Trust, when visible evidence seems to contradict my prayers for prosperity, help me maintain firm my faith in the invisible work you are doing to transform my situation. Teach me to trust not in what my physical eyes can see in the present moment, but in what my heart knows to be true in the eternal dimension, where my financial liberation is already accomplished. Archangel of Divine Abundance, express through my life the cosmic principle of generosity while you work to increase the flow of resources toward me. Help me become an ever wider channel through which these blessings can flow to others. Expand my capacity to receive in direct proportion to my willingness to give, thus creating a virtuous circle of prosperity that feeds itself and continuously expands. Saint Michael, builder of celestial bridges, create tangible connections between my material needs and the infinite resources of the spiritual realm. Break down the illusory wall that seems to separate the divine dimension from my daily reality, allowing celestial providence to manifest in concrete and immediate ways in my financial life. Let me directly experience the truth that heaven and earth are not separate but intimately connected. Powerful Archangel, I pray you shape around me an energy field that naturally attracts prosperity in all its forms. Modify the vibrational frequency of my aura so it enters into perfect resonance with the energy of universal abundance, thus becoming an irresistible magnet for favorable opportunities, fortunate encounters, profitable ideas, and increasing flows of material resources. Saint Michael, protector of my divine destiny, ensure that I remain steadfast on the path of prosperity that has been designed for me since the beginning of time. When the road becomes confusing and options multiple, clearly illuminate the path that leads to my highest expression of abundance. Do not allow me to get lost in detours that, although enticing in the immediate term, would take me away from my true destiny of prosperity. Archangel of Divine Clarity, dissolve the fog of confusion that often surrounds financial matters, making it difficult for me to clearly see and understand my true economic situation. Remove the veil of illusion that makes me perceive scarcity where abundance actually exists, or that prevents me from recognizing real problems that require my attention. Give me eyes that see the truth in every circumstance. Saint Michael, dispenser of unmerited grace, when my financial mistakes seem too serious and the consequences too heavy to bear with my strength alone, intervene with that mysterious work of divine mercy that transcends karma and the law of cause and effect. Show me that there exists a power superior to justice, that of love which forgives, restores, and renounces the right to punish. Archangel of Divine Time, synchronize my efforts for prosperity with the most favorable cosmic cycles. Help me understand when it is time to sow and when it is time to reap, when it is time to risk and when it is time to conserve, when I must act decisively and when instead I must wait patiently for fruits to ripen. Align my inner clock with the perfect timing of the universe. Saint Michael, you who simultaneously see past, present, and future, Help me free myself from the chains of negative financial experiences from my past that continue to influence my present and cast shadows on my future. Cut the energetic ties with these limiting memories, allowing me to enter the present with new eyes and open heart, ready to write a completely different financial story. Powerful protector. Create an impenetrable shield around my finances that protects them from sudden losses, unexpected expenses, wrong investments, hasty decisions, and every other form of energy dispersion that could drain my resources. Preserve and multiply what I possess, while simultaneously working to increase the flow of new abundance into my life. Saint Michael, healer of emotional wounds related to money, I pray you heal the financial traumas I have experienced throughout my life. Heal the pain of significant losses, the humiliation of public failures, the shame of uncontrolled debts, the fear of extreme poverty. Transform these emotional scars into a source of wisdom, compassion, and renewed determination. Archangel of celestial memory, help me remember who I truly am beyond any temporary financial circumstance. Remind me of my eternal identity as a divine being temporarily engaged in a human experience, not defined by the numbers in my bank account or my financial credibility score. Awaken in me the awareness of my intrinsic spiritual abundance that transcends every material fluctuation. Saint Michael, patron of divine patience, teach me to persevere in my journey toward prosperity, even when results seem to delay. Help me understand that the seeds of abundance, once planted, follow their natural cycles of growth that cannot be forced, but only supported with constant care. Give me the patience of the farmer who knows how to wait with confidence for the harvest. After having diligently worked the land. Archangel of financial freedom, break the invisible chains that bind me to the mentality of economic dependence. Free me from the limiting belief that my survival and prosperity depend on forces, the government, the employer, the partner, the market, the global economy. Awaken instead in me the awareness of my innate creative power to generate abundance in any circumstance. Saint Michael, master of alchemical transmutation, transform every financial loss I have suffered or might suffer in the future into a spiritual gain of infinitely superior value. Make every dollar lost become wisdom gained, every material failure translate into inner growth. Every door closed in the visible world open a portal to invisible but much more powerful and lasting resources. Archangel of psychic protection, defend my mind from the constant assault of media messages that promote scarcity, economic fear, ruthless competition, and insatiable consumerism. Create a shield around my consciousness that filters these toxic influences, allowing me to maintain a balanced and spiritually centered perspective regarding money and material goods. Saint Michael, guardian of the divine mission, help me recognize that true prosperity manifests when I align my professional life with my authentic spiritual purpose. Guide me to discover how my unique gifts and talents can be put at the service of humanity in ways that simultaneously generate abundance for me and benefits for others, thus creating a perfect flow of giving and receiving. Powerful warrior of light, fight for me the battle against financial chaos that often reigns in my life. Bring order where there is disorder, clarity where there is confusion, system where there is disorganization. Help me create solid structures, healthy habits, and efficient systems to manage my resources, transforming economic entropy into financial harmony. Saint Michael, herald of the spiritual dawn, while you work to bring a new day of prosperity into my life, help me recognize and appreciate the first rays of light that precede the complete rising of the sun. Teach me to celebrate the small signs of improvement, the gradual progress, the seemingly insignificant blessings that are actually the messengers of the greater abundance that is coming. Archangel of divine strength, when the weight of financial problems seems to crush my spirit and drain my vital energy, pour into me that supernatural strength that comes directly from the celestial source. Fill my being with the divine fire that burns away fatigue, dissolves discouragement, and reignites the determination to continue fighting for my financial liberation. Saint Michael, builder of the temple of prosperity, Help me build my wealth on indestructible spiritual foundations. Teach me that true abundance is not a house built on the sand of changing circumstances, but a fortress erected on the rock of eternal principles: gratitude, generosity, integrity, service, trust in the divine, and recognition of the unity of all life. Archangel of family protection, extend your shield not only over my personal financial situation, but also over that of my entire family. Free my lineage from any economic curse passed down through generations. Heal ancestral financial traumas. Transform dysfunctional money management patterns inherited from my ancestors, and establish a new lineage of prosperity that will bless all future generations. Saint Michael, companion of my spiritual evolution, help me understand that the financial difficulties I am going through might be part of a broader divine plan for my growth and transformation. Show me how these challenges are forging in me soul qualities I would not otherwise have developed, preparing me for a higher level of consciousness and a more elevated form of prosperity. Powerful Archangel of Providence, in moments when I touch the bottom of financial despair and see no human way out, reveal to me the mystery of divine surrender. Teach me that when I reach the end of my resources, I touch the beginning of infinite celestial resources. Show me how the apparent emptiness of total powerlessness actually becomes the space in which miracles can freely manifest. Saint Michael, guardian of eternal truth, dispel the illusions that have made me believe my identity and worth are determined by my financial status. Remind me that I am much more than what I own, earn, or spend. Awaken in me the awareness that my divine essence remains unchangeable and radiant regardless of temporary fluctuations in my economic situation. Archangel of divine reward, make every act of generosity I have performed in the past, even the smallest and seemingly insignificant, now return to me multiplied in financial blessings. Activate the spiritual law of reciprocity, calling back into my life all the good I have sown, perhaps forgotten by me but indelibly recorded in the cosmic registers and now ripe for harvest. Saint Michael, master of vital energy, revitalize my relationship with money by infusing it with new energy, enthusiasm, and joy. Transform the heaviness, anxiety, and seriousness that often accompany my financial matters into lightness, trust, and even fun. Help me dance with the energy of abundance rather than struggle against the fear of scarcity. Powerful protector, while I invoke your assistance for my economic difficulties, I also pray you purify my heart from every form of greed, excessive attachment, or identification with material goods. Let me desire prosperity not for selfish accumulation, but as a tool of freedom that allows me to fully express the divine gifts I came to share with thee. World. Saint Michael, master of spiritual detachment, teach me the paradoxical art of working diligently to improve my financial situation while simultaneously maintaining a deep inner detachment from the results. Show me how I can commit totally to necessary action without anxiously attaching to the outcome, trusting that the universe will always respond perfect, even if not always in the way I expect. Archangel of divine solutions, when I find myself in a financial dead end and cannot see any way out with my limited human perspective, I pray you reveal possibilities that transcend my current imagination. Show me invisible paths, hidden opportunities, unrecognized resources that can lead me beyond the apparent impasse toward a territory of unexpected abundance. Saint Michael, keeper of the celestial vision, when daily financial worries threaten to absorb all my attention and narrow my perspective to mere survival, expand my consciousness by reminding me of the bigger picture of my life. Help me keep my gaze elevated toward the higher goals and values that lie beyond the temporary fluctuations of my bank account. Powerful Archangel, I thank you for having listened to this prayer of mine with all the attention and compassion that characterize your celestial being. I thank you for the intervention you are already implementing in the invisible realm, whose effects will soon manifest in my visible reality. I thank you for the constant protection, loving guidance, and unfailing support you offer me at every moment of my journey toward full financial freedom. Saint Michael, as I conclude this prayer, I feel a new lightness in my being, The oppressive weight of financial worries that has accompanied me for so long already seems less burdensome. I perceive subtle changes in the atmosphere surrounding me, as if the air itself were charged with possibilities I couldn't even imagine before. The future that once appeared as a dark tunnel of economic difficulties now begins to reveal glimpses of light, promises of liberation, hints of approaching abundance. Glorious Archangel, from this moment forward, I consider established between us a special alliance for the complete transformation of my financial life. This is not simply a prayer pronounced once and then forgotten, but the beginning of an ongoing collaboration between heaven and earth, between angelic forces and my human efforts, all directed toward a single goal: the manifestation of divine prosperity in every aspect of my material existence. Saint Michael, now seal this prayer with your celestial power. Imprint it not only in the cosmic ether, but also in the depths of my subconscious, so that it continues to operate day and night, subtly but inexorably transforming my financial reality even while I sleep. Even while my conscious mind is occupied with other activities, make it become a constant active presence in my life, a river of grace that flows uninterruptedly, dissolving every blockage, irrigating every arid area, fertilizing every seed of abundance in the garden of my existence. Powerful protector, as I take leave of this sacred moment of connection with you, I completely entrust my financial situation to you, knowing it is in the best possible hands. With grateful heart and renewed spirit, I now open myself to receive all the material blessings that heaven desires to pour upon me. I joyfully accept the new identity of prosperous person that you are forging for me. I confidently embrace the destiny of abundance that awaits me, and I solemnly commit to using every resource I receive, not only for my well-being, but to become in turn a source of blessing for all those I will meet on my path. If this prayer has touched your soul, know that something powerful has already begun to move in the spiritual world. The presence of Saint Michael Archangel has been invoked, and his transformative energy is already working in your financial life. But your journey toward complete economic freedom and divine prosperity has just begun. The next prayer, which is appearing on your screen right now, could be the next step to unlock even more victories and blessings in your life. Click and continue to receive what heaven has specifically prepared for you, because each prayer is a step on the ladder that takes you toward the complete manifestation of divine abundance in your earthly existence. Don't stop now that the river of grace has begun to flow. Let yourself be guided toward the fullness of all that has been divinely destined for you since the foundation of the world.